Amend the Mass Media Group is California Capital's premier YouTube channel focused on reparations, dedicated to political advocacy and apologetically aimed at shining a spotlight on our righteous justice claim for reparations.
Okay, well, I ran out of gas. I ran out of gas coming down Highway 101 past Highway 92. Probably about, which would make me about 5 exits from my home exit, Marsh Road, which I would have gotten off and got home. Ultimately, like I said, I ran out of gas there. I tried to get over, but I could not get over all the way because the cars that were coming on the freeway were moving so fast. And so I had to get in like the little, triangle that separates the cars coming onto the freeway and the slow lane. And I parked my car in there into a tight spot, but it was enough room, and it was in a precarious spot, I would say, but it wasn't sticking out in any way. It was not sticking out in any way. It was just, so I figured I'd wait there for 511. I had AAA, actually. I did not call AAA because it takes so long. So I waited for 511, a California state agency, which is supposed to come and help you fix your tires or if you run out of gas or that type of stuff. It's just a local agency, a state agency that helps. Yes. Okay. Cool. Talk to me. March 23rd, 2021. And, I'll also remind you that, this incident really doesn't just involve me. The next day they killed they tried to kill me, but the next day they did kill a black man, highway patrol on, I think it was Highway 84. So, no more than 10 miles from where this incident happened with me. This was in the day. This was about noonish, I believe. Yes, sir. Should be on the paperwork, actually. You're holding. It was about noon, and about noon. Mm-hmm. Yes. Sure. So I ran out of gas. Like I said, I sat there for a minute, but I didn't want to stay where I was, and so I got out of the car to wait for 511 by the side of the road, across the road, and I stood there for maybe 3-4 minutes. There was a Caltrans worker down at the end of the block. I actually, before I did that, I turned the car, the ignition to the forward position, not started, but forward position. So anybody walking by, if a policeman came, if 511 came, it would be obvious that I was out of gas, because the gas light was on. And, I got out the car and walked to the Caltrans workers and said, hey, if 511 comes, would you mind letting them know that I just went to go get gas? and I decided I'd walk and go get gas on my own down the way. And I went to a Shell gas station, I believe. I believe it was Shell around the corner on that exit. And I had left my wallet in the car. And so I had to tell the young lady at the Shell gas station, I said, I'll be right back. I left my wallet in the car. But when I got back to the freeway and got back to where my wallet was, seeing my car, it was surrounded by police. I mean, it might have been 8 police cars. And I had no idea what was going on, And one voice told me, hey, man, we'll just get it out of tow, because they had a tow truck there too, and I was like, and then the other voice said to me, you've done nothing wrong, why don't you go tell them, that's your car, and just, ask for $3 worth of gas for one of the officers. I know they carry a little thing around in the back of their trunk, and see if I can get home that way without having to spend another $2,000, and try to get my car out of tow. And so I did that, and I walked down, and officer was right there on the line there, and I approached him. He had his back to me. He was waving traffic, trying to slow traffic, and trying to make sure that the traffic could pass. I guess because the tow truck was, trying to get in position to tow my car, or however they wanted to do it, and ultimately. I can't remember if they had moved my car already or not. I just know the tow truck was there. And I walked up to him. I tapped him on the back of the shoulder, and I said, "Excuse me, sir." And before I was going to say, "That's my vehicle, can I get back in it?" Before I could say anything, he turned around, drew his pistol on me, and said, "Nigga, freeze." And I dropped immediately to my knees, put my hands on my head, am I being arrested or detained? Now, I was right by that white line at this time, because that's where he was standing when I dropped to my knees. His next command was, get away from the line. I didn't want to hear. I've seen so many people get double commands from police officers and get killed, so I did not move from there, and I kept my hands on my head. I said, am I being arrested or detained? At that time, the gentleman, it all happened so fast, but I know he holstered his weapon, got his handcuffs, put one handcuff on my left hand, and bent it around like this. And when you're on your knees, ultimately, he took that one, put it behind my back, and then he took this one, actually, and you can see it right here. This one, my hand is actually broken. He squeezed it so hard that this right here is just, my knuckle was basically gone now. So this hand was broken, and and basically the momentum and him swinging this hand around forced me onto the freeway, into that slow lane. It was a car coming in the slow lane, and I was either going to die, get my head run over by a car, or I was going to get away from that car, and I did get away from that car. I was able to, after being forced on the freeway, get to that first little line, not in the lane, but the line between the lanes, and let the cars pass, because they were moving pretty fast that day. And at that point, I basically had to keep moving. I couldn't go back, and it was a very intense and scary situation, what I was dealing with over there. But I did stop at the mid intersection, and I said, I basically said, "WTF, man? What the, what's going on here?" And then he proceeded to say, "Taser," and shoot me in the chest, directly in the chest with a taser. Like I said, everything was happening so fast, I thought it was a gunshot, and it made me immediately think of Oscar Grant and Johannes Meserly. And at that point, these men were out to kill me, because the taser can make you faint right there, and I could have fallen into the fast lane again and gotten hit by another car. And I was just in fear for my life. I was running for my life at this point. The taser, he put the shock through me, and I pulled it out of my chest, and I jumped again over the other side, and I just know at this time someone's going to shoot me in the back of the head. And I tried to weave again, tried to get as far away from these guys as possible. Got to about the second lane from the end of the freeway, and somehow I put my hand up and said, "Stop," to a truck. A truck stopped for me. And just like in the movies,